Hey y'all, this is Courtney and this is Just Nurse Court, and I am doing a little garden tour today. And it is Sunday evening, so it's been a week since I did a garden tour, and so I thought I would just do another little tour, get you updated with stuff. I've been working in the garden this afternoon, actually quite a bit, and I'll get y'all updated on that. But first off, wanted to just get you updated on my green stalks. So my green beans are looking pretty good. Not every pocket has germination all the way, but I went in this afternoon and those that didn't have 3 plants already popped up, then I was going ahead and popping another seed in. So like that pocket didn't have much, so we may end up they may just be slow to germinate, but I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and pop some more seeds in just in case. But overall, green beans are looking great in the green stalk, and they are coming right up. So I know last week they were just barely popping, and they looked a lot like this little guy down here. Let's see if I can sneak under, get you a little closer. So a lot of them look like that, but now we actually have got leaves and we're looking like green beans. So, and then my marigolds that I planted from seed, or started from seed, these are looking pretty good. That one's pretty tiny, but this one here may actually be putting out a little flower. I'm not sure. I've never started them from seed, so I'm not sure what they look like, but I may be getting a little bit of flowers on them. It's either that or more leaves, one or the other. I'm not sure, since this is a new adventure for me, but overall they are looking great, and I am pleased with how they're looking. And then on my next green stalk is my herbs, and we are looking pretty good everywhere. We've got basil along the top, and I think the basil is I think we've got plants in every single pocket, so happy about that. And then the next row down is thyme, and we finally got some germination there. Some is a little bit slower than others. And then down here some cilantro, and we finally have, along with the mushrooms, we have a little bit of cilantro finally growing. This was one of the last things to germinate. There's still a few more things down farther that haven't, and that pocket doesn't have anything in it yet. Looks like we got a maple tree trying to grow in here, so let's go ahead and pull that out. We don't want a maple tree. And then we've got oregano in the next pocket, and we have germination there mostly. And then down here we have some lemon balm that has started up, and then a couple of the pockets have some holy basil, and I don't think that the holy basil has, let's see, that's a lemon balm. That one's starting. I see a little tiny little flower down there. The holy basil I don't think has started. Oh well, maybe. No, actually the holy basil's on the next row. I'm sorry guys. So this is spearmint. Lemon balm is all up on that row. And there's another maple tree trying to grow. Get that going. Let's see, spearmint and spearmint, and that's the holy basil, and that's holy basil, but I don't have any germination on the spearmint or the holy basil yet. And then down on the bottom tier we've got rosemary, and I think that it is all, there's a little tiny bit that's popped right in there. And then that one doesn't have anything yet. But overall, so it's the spearmint and the holy basil and a little bit of the rosemary hasn't germinated yet, but it will. Then my next green stalk is my peppers, and we've got them. I watered everything before I did my filming, so they might look a little sad just because I just watered them. So sometimes when I water them, it kind of lays them over a little bit and they have to pop back up. But all my peppers, I got jalapenos in the second row. And then down in the third row, we've got Jimmy Nardellos, which are supposed to be a sweet pepper. And then we have the Sugar Rush Peach, and then the Hungarian Wax on the bottom. And everything seems to still be green, just kind of slow growth. But they like hot weather, and it's been kind of cool. So, you know, it's been kind of rainy and kind of cool. So it's okay. I'm not unhappy with them. They will thrive as soon as the summer sun really hits in. And then my flowers are looking good. I moved a lot of them out to the garden because I wanted to have flowers out there. But the ones up here, I wanted a little bit of fun and prettiness on the porch. And then my roses. So this bush last year it never bloomed and it looked like it was going to die. And this year it's come back. I didn't even cut it back because I honestly thought it was going to die. So I didn't even cut it back. And it just got blooms all over it. And then this one over here is looking fabulous. And these were planted before I moved into the house. So, all right. Well, now let's go out to the garden. And I can't keep enough bird seed in my feeders. I'm feeding the Orioles. They love grape jelly, and they have been, well, there's still grape jelly in there. We at least got grape jelly, but I cannot keep. I filled this little basket up, and not up all the way, but I filled them up, and then that was completely filled up, and they'll eat you out of house and home. Oh, so my mower guy, for some reason, he left this little patch right out there, and then right along here. I have no idea. I think they just got in a hurry and totally did not see it, so wasn't real pleased about that, but it is what it is. So I've been watering. I decided to leave my hose out here since he won't be back to mow till the end of the week. I thought I'm not going to haul that back and forth 2 or 3 times this next week. So, all right, now we are coming into the garden and we've got some changes for sure. Oh, here's another maple tree. Maple tree and mushrooms. I can really grow them. So this first bed is my squashes. And we actually have germination now. I think you guys can pretty much see that all of them have germinated. So this first row right here is a yellow scallop squash. Then the second row back is a white scallop squash. And I think so far only one of those have, but I think I've got a little one that is popping right beside that one and that one. And then all of these, both of them have popped. My zucchini right there, he was my first one to go, so he's definitely the biggest. And there's the other zucchini, and then I got some yellow squash. So we'll see if I get any squash this year. I'm hopeful. We'll see. So I moved my flowers out here to hopefully attract some bees and stuff like that. I know there's bees in the area because my sister lives a couple blocks from me, and she had so many bees yesterday when we were at her house putting up her green stalks. So I know that there are bees, and I'm just hoping that there'll be enough bees and stuff come out that will actually germinate my squash for me, because last year that was my problem. Then there's my green bean bed. Doesn't it look good? So we've got a lot of the beans have come up. There's a few little holes, and this afternoon I went in and I planted a few more little beans in there and in there, just kind of in some holes, just to make sure we get good coverage for the beans. But yeah, green beans are looking great. We had a lot of rain last weekend, and then some this week, and so I did not have to water. I watered last Sunday night, and then I have not watered until today because we had a lot of rain. And then this is my potato bed, and they are looking great. And I was actually out watering my front bunch of potatoes, and there was some potatoes. I had to cover them up with soil. They had popped up. I noticed in a couple of my grow bags, and I'm like, oh, I better cover them up because I don't want them to turn green. So I covered them up with some soil. So I think I'm going to actually have some potatoes. They, of course, are about 2 to 3 weeks ahead of these, and they're looking fantastic. So, and they're even starting to bloom. I noticed this evening, some of them. And then, so I moved, these are my kohlrabies. I moved them back here, and they are doing okay. So this is the purple kohlrabi, and I've at least got that one there. I think that, I wasn't sure, I think that is a kohlrabi. So I was kind of waiting to let some of these weeds grow up just a smidge before I decide if they're the kohlrabi or the weed. And so I'm just letting them go. I believe that's kohlrabi, and I think that is too. And then I know that is, and I know that is. So I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna pull those weeds because they might actually be something. So, all right. And then I moved my little celery thing over here. I don't know, I've never grown celery. We'll see. I'm growing celery and mushrooms. every pot has mushrooms, it seems like. And then let's see, over here I have my cantaloupes right there and right there. Those have germinated. And then I got 3 cabbages in the middle. I'm not anticipating anything with them. I know we've talked about it. And then I have some Amish paste tomatoes around. Again, there's only 1 or 2 that are maybe looking okay. I watered this one and now that one's kind of leaning over. They're just super, super tiny. I don't know if they're gonna make or not, but I decided to leave them and we're just gonna see what happens. And then these are my Brussels sprouts. I have a Long Island, and then in this one I've got the purple Brussels sprouts. So they, again, I don't think will make either because it was too late in the season for me to be starting all these. So you'll notice kind of a little bit in the background, I got tomato plants. So I actually got a little bit nervous that my tomatoes that I had started from seed, they were just so tiny and I was nervous that they weren't going to make and actually produce anything. So I bought some tomato plants the other night at the hardware store. I bought 9 Roma tomato plants and then 3 like a beef steak, just kind of like a slicer type style, because I thought maybe between them all and the little bit that I might get from mine, maybe I'll actually have enough tomatoes to be able to do some processing, because I would like to be able to either make some salsas. I'll have to check and see how I am on my salsas, but either make salsas or like tomato sauce. I'd like to try my hand at a spaghetti sauce. And so I need tomatoes to be able to do that. So we're gonna see. I may be okay on salsa this year, but I may not be. So I went ahead and I just bit the bullet and I just bought some plants. So this cage here, I went ahead and put around. This is my Sunray tomato plant, and that one I did start from seed, and it's probably one of my better looking tomato plants. And I think it will be okay. It's just gonna be slow, and we're gonna have tomatoes probably later in the season, and that's okay. And then this is a Sun Gold little cherry right there in this one. And then this also is a Sun Gold. I don't know if these are gonna make or not. So I caged some of mine that I thought were looking a little bit better. And then I basically wanted to make sure I had cages for all the ones that I had purchased. And then the rest of them, we'll just kind of see what happens. But I've got broccolis and cauliflowers. So this row here is all cauliflowers, and I know that I started them late, and these are all broccolis. I don't think I'll get anything off of them, but we'll just see what happens. I have a little tiny tomato plant right there. I don't know what'll happen, and another one right there. That's some kind of a cherry tomato. And then this is one of the Romas that I purchased from the store, and they're looking great. So happy with them. And then my mic was kind of bumping into my face. Hopefully it's not making a great amount of noise for you guys. Then this was another Roma that I purchased, and then of course that one was as well. And then I have some Acre 55s in here. They're still they're just not hardly doing anything. So I don't know. That's a Roma there of mine. That's also a Roma. I don't even know if you can hardly see it. This was an Acre 55, and that one over there. So I went ahead and put cages around these because they looked a little better. And then I think those are possibly as well. So we'll just see. Like I said, I don't know if any of my tomatoes will turn out. It may take them a while. So that's why I decided to purchase some. And then this was a random tomato, and I can't even remember what one it was, what style it was. And so I just put it in a thing because it was one of my better looking seedlings, and so that one's going to be a mystery. I'm not sure. This one here is a golden nugget, and it's just super tiny, but it is putting on new leaves, so it may pop out of it. Here's a sunray, and it's doing okay. And then this one is actually an Amish paste that looks pretty good. So I may have one Amish paste that turns out. We'll see. So I went ahead and put a cage around it because it was looking a little bit better. And then this is a Dr. Witchy's, which is supposed to be a yellow slicer. And I started that one from seed and it looks okay. Then this is some okra. I have germination there. And I thought I had put a couple plants in here, but so far I just have the one plant, so we'll see. And then these are cucumbers. So far I have 3 plants, and I thought that I only put 2 seeds in, but apparently I put 3. And then here's some more Romas. I discovered today when I was planting these and then putting my tomato cages in here that I like these bags. These are the 15-gallon size bags from Epic Gardening. They are a little bit bigger and they hold my tomato cages perfectly. So I think that I'm going to probably be purchasing, I had 10 of them. And then what I did is I had 3 of my black bags from Amazon. And I went ahead and used them, and they're right down here, as you can see. But these are all Romas that I bought from the store. And then these are the 3 bags that I had from Amazon. And they may just be 10-gallon bags. I'm not sure. That's probably what they are. But they just don't hold the cage like all the way in. Like it doesn't go and fit in there nice like it does in these 15-gallon bags. So moving forward, I'm going to put my tomatoes, I think, in these 15-gallon grow bags. And I had 2 that I didn't use because I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I had 3 that I didn't use then because I have 10 of them. So basically those 3 I would have had, I should have just done the others, but I had them left over and I was like, well, I'll just use those first. Not even really thinking about it, but next year I know I will move to the Epic Garden grow bags for all my tomatoes because I like that. And I think what I may do, so we'll see how they do in the garden because I have a few here in the garden and they may do just fine. But I really am thinking that I may just end up doing all my tomatoes in grow bags. We're going to see. I know I did well with them last year, so we're going to see how they go this year. But what I liked about this is with my fence, I could actually attach these. I think that I wouldn't have anything falling over like I did last year because I didn't have a fence and I didn't have a garden really area. I was doing it in the front of my house. And so when the tomatoes grew up really super tall, they fell over a lot, especially my Amish paste towards the end of the fall last year. And so I think that these here, I can just end up attaching the cage to the fence and then I shouldn't have anything blowing over. So I'm thinking that that's what I'm going to do. Plus, everything would get sun better, I think, until later in the evening whenever the sun sets, because the sun sets in the west and this is the western edge. So anyway, I'm thinking that's what I'm gonna do. So these 3 tomatoes here are like my beefsteak. So this is Beef Master, and then this one is a Super Fantastic, and then that one is a Super Sonic. So we'll see. Everything that I bought from the store looks like we're F1 hybrids. The stuff that I have grown from seed, I think a lot of those, except for maybe those Sun Golds, I think a lot of them were heirlooms. So we'll see how things go, and we'll compare, I guess, the difference. And I may switch over to getting me some F1 hybrid seeds in the future. But my plan is to start my seeds a lot earlier. Now that I'm learning, I'm going to definitely start my seeds a lot earlier. So I have a couple of my tall cages. So I bought these off of Amazon, but I have a couple of my tall cages in my gardening beds. One of them is around an Amish paste, and then this one is around a sunray because it looked pretty good, and I think it will probably turn out And then the shorter ones I've tried to put around my Romas, and then I did put this one around a Sun Gold because I didn't have a tall one left. So, but I got these off of Amazon, I think from Gardener Supply. I'm not sure, but anyway, but I love them because they fold flat. These here were left at my house when I moved in, so I had these round ones, and I'm using them because I had them, but they're not my favorite because these other you can just fold them up flat, and then these tall ones, they come apart right here, and basically you take the top part off and then you take the bottom part off, and they just fold up and store great in my garage. So I love these tomato cages. They're not cheap. They didn't have any green ones this year when I went to go look, but they had some red ones. But I think I'm okay with what I have and everything. I think I'll be okay. And then this will kind of give me an idea next year of like how many like cages I might need and stuff like that. I know I had 6 tall cages, and I don't think I probably would ever grow more than 6 of the indeterminate variety that really like took off and did well. Now I have a lot in my garden this year because some of it's just a trial and error, and I'm going to see if any of these little babies take off. I'm not hopeful, but we'll see. And then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of the short cages. So that would be enough for like 12 Roma plants. So, because in the determinate style, like the Romas, so if they don't get as big, they just kind of bush out more. And so these smaller cages work great for them. So, plus I have the round cages that I can always use. So I think I'm okay as far as my tomato cages go. If any of these turn out right in here, I really could probably use another cage for some of them, but we're gonna roll with it and see what happens. And so I moved my flowers out here. You can see my marigolds. Those orange ones are kind of cycling through. I just love those. I think they're so pretty. And then of course the pretty little petunias. So, all right. So this is the garden. It is looking great, and this is week 2. I can't believe it. And then things look a lot different, of course, now because I've got tomato plants out here. So we're gonna walk around to the front of the house and take a peek at my potato and garlic beds up there. So hang tight and I will be right back with you. Okay, so here we are in the front of my house where I have my potatoes and my garlic. But look at my potatoes. Aren't they doing well? They look great. And I noticed some of them in here. I gotta see if I can find them. They were starting to bloom. I know. Oh yeah, I think that's what that is. It's either putting on new leaves or it's bloom. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I do know I have potatoes because I was out here watering before doing this tour, and a couple of my beds I noticed had some potatoes shining through up above the dirt, and so I got some dirt and covered them back up. I'm like, oh, I can't have the potatoes showing up. Oh, here's one, that one there. So I'm gonna cover that one up. I think the sun was already getting to that one. So I was trying to keep a better eye on these. Is that one? I think it'll be okay. I'll just cover it up and let it kind of go. But the sun can kind of damage them. They turn green and then they're not good, but I think overall it will be okay. I'm looking down in there to make sure that I don't have any more. Oh, yep, there's one. See, there's a red potato popping up. So I'll just cover it up. I need to probably throw some more soil. I have a half a bag of soil left, so if they keep doing this, I'm probably gonna just have to go get a little bit of soil and sprinkle in on them. So, but overall, they're looking great. So pretty happy with the potatoes. And then my little wildflowers, we don't know what those are going to be yet. We'll see. Then my snapdragons, we'll see what happens with any of them. I'm not sure what all these little tiny things in there. I don't know if those are little snapdragons that are, I don't know. Anyway, we'll see if any of these turn out. I have not grown much flowers, so that's a a new adventure. And then here's some of my garlic. It's looking pretty good. I got my rose bush up front that needs to be trimmed back. Definitely it's kind of a mess back up here, but I only have like 2 or 3 beds, well, grow bags that have garlic in them. These ones up front really didn't turn out. This portion of the garlic seemed to do better. So I'm gonna see what kind of garlic this is, and then we'll probably, if I decide to do garlic again, what I may do, I was considering doing, is throwing some down the center of my beds, and then that way I could plant stuff on either side, like come spring. So I'm not sure. I may do the grow bags. I may not. We'll see. Or I may just not grow garlic this year. I don't know what I'll do. I guess we'll just see how this does. So really we'll see if it's worth it and see how this garlic turns out for me. So, but that is my garden tour. So I hope you guys enjoyed my week 2 updates, but my potatoes are looking great and I thought you guys would enjoy seeing everything. So I hope you have a fantastic week, and we'll see you hopefully next week for a week 3 garden tour. I may not have one next week just because of some busyness of life that's going on. We'll see, but hopefully I'll be able to film a little bit of something. Oh, and I just noticed these little flowers that comes up, they are starting to bud, so we're gonna have some flowers there. So all right guys, well I hope you have a great week, and we'll see you soon in the next garden tour. Bye friends.